Fernando Pimentel of BehindTheGloves.com here with the one and only John David Jackson, trainer of Sergey Kovalev. It's here, man. The fight a lot of people have been talking about ever since, Ward moved up to 175. A battle versus the number one 175-pounder, your fighter, Sergey Kovalev. Your thoughts on this fight and the fact that it's actually coming to fruition?
Well, Fernando, I'm glad that it's here. It's a fight that the fans deserve to see. Mayweather-Pacquiao was 5 years too late. Stevenson Kovalev kind of went by the wayside. It can be revived, but you know what? Even that fight, if it waits much longer, it's going to be too late. So Ward Kovalev is ideal for the fans. They deserve it. They deserve to have major fights, and it keeps boxing alive. So as a fan, I'm just excited. As a trainer, I'm really excited. But as a fan, I'm just excited for this fight, and people deserve to see these kind of fights.
Now, obviously, everybody, when they see this fight, they brand it one way: the boxer Andre Ward versus the power puncher Sergey Kovalev. We actually saw more wrinkles or more arsenal in Sergey Kovalev's game when he fought Bernard Hopkins. We saw that he was actually not just a power puncher, but he could actually box, he could actually move. Do you think him being the bigger fighter, because he's the one who's the natural 175-pounder while Ward is the 168-pounder, could actually hinder a couple of the things that Ward might want to do in this fight?
Well, first of all, the fans know, actually Ward is a 175-pounder. I'm going to tell you
right.
why. Because in amateur, he's 178.
178 in the Olympics.
So he came down 10 pounds, and after his weigh-in, he was bigger than these guys. So this fight here is the first time he's going to have a fight a guy who's naturally the same weight he is, or maybe a little bit bigger, who knows. Having said that, Ward is listen, Ward's a hell of a fighter. I may say a lot of things about him to get inside his head and make them think, but when it's all said and done, I respect him. Because, first of all, it's hard to go through the amateur program undefeated. You might get a bad decision here or there. Somewhere you can get a bad decision. So for him to go undefeated as an amateur, that speaks volumes. He did the right thing at 168 and clean that division out. Now he has to go to 175. But, unfortunately for him, 175, he's been a killer. Andre, you said with the Brand fight, he showed a lot of things, but he showed one thing that I've always said. He showed one thing: he's not a power puncher. If you can't hurt Sergey, you might frustrate Sergey for a few rounds. You might make him chase you, but if you can't hurt him and get his respect, you're in trouble. Because all that boxing is great. When the ring is cut off and you got to fight, and you got a 6-shooter and the clip is half empty, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. And one thing about Sergey, he's seek and destroy. And when he gets you hurt, he's gonna try to knock you out.
As you spoke about the Brand fight, Brand actually went up to Kovalev at the end, after the fight and everything, and told him that Ward does not punch hard. Has Kovalev spoken to you about that, or have you heard about that or seen that?
Well, I told Sergey a long time ago when the fight was first was being discussed. I said, listen, he's not a big puncher. Very good boxer, very intelligent fighter, not a big puncher. I said, if he can't hurt you, you got to walk him down and break him down. You don't chase him. Cut the ring off. Make him fight you. See what he's made of. See if he can't hurt you, he might slap you to death, but you got to move your head and block those shots. The thing about boxing that a lot of fans don't realize is, there are a lot of good fighters. And a lot of these guys that are good amateurs, they come to become pros, and they're not really taught how to fight in a professional manner. So Ward has really had like on-the-job training with his boxing, and he's improved a lot. But he's not where people think he really is. The inside game is not where it should be. And he hasn't really sat down his punch to knock guys out. And if he has sat down his punch to knock him out, and then he's not knocking him out, then he has no power. And I'm not going to say he has no power. I'm just saying he doesn't have debilitating one knockout punch power. And that's going to hurt him. Yeah, he might box for a few rounds. He might make Sergey look bad. And hey, that might happen. But once that motor gets revved up and Sergey finds that he starts breaking him down, now we're going to see what Andre is made of. Can he take the punch? Now, if Boone hurts you at 68 and some other kid hurt him bad, look at when Sergey hits him flush on the chin. Can he withstand that? Does he want to withstand that? We'll see. Hey, all I can do is my job. My job is get my guy ready and just break him down systematically. And if we can get him out, we get him out. If we can't, we have to make sure that we beat him decisively.
Do you see any parallels in this fight for Sergey Kovalev compared to the Bernard Hopkins fight? This is what a lot of people are saying, because Bernard was a genius boxer. He basically knew how to work the ring and everything like that, but just couldn't get himself off. Maybe it was age or something, but do you see a parallel with Ward and Bernard when it compares to Kovalev?
I see similarities, and then I see a couple of strengths that Ward has. A little bit younger, maybe a little bit fresher. Doesn't have the power that Bernard has at middleweight. Ring smarts, not as intelligent as Bernard, but he has smarts, and this is not a dumb fighter. And so when people see this interview, don't say, "Oh, John said Ward's stupid. No, he's a very intelligent boxer, very intelligent. I'm giving him all the respect he deserves. He's just not Bernard Hopkins. Bernard understood the game of boxing. And Ward may also, but not on Bernard's level. He's still learning as he goes along. He's not 50, he's still 32.
Yeah.
So he has a long way to go to get to that point. But he's a very intelligent fighter, and there are similarities. When it's all said and done, there's going to be one similarity also in that fight. He's going to break Ward down the way he broke Bernard down. Here's the thing. The last 5 years of Ward's life have been lost. Three fights in 5 years. From 27 to 32, those are your prime years. Those years are gone. He can't get them back. So he's in trouble because he's on the side of on that legend. He's going down. He may not say he is, but he's going down. She's had problems. She's had shoulder problems. He's had mental distractions with contract disputes and stuff like that. So he's on the other side of that. See, I understand the game. I've been there. I've been where he's going. So he can't say, "Oh, I'm talking out of the side of my head." No, I was two-time world champion, 2 divisions. I understand what he's going through. You know, I had to wait. Luckily, not as long as he did. I waited 17 months of my life. My life were gone from boxing. I didn't fight. So I understand what he's going through. But he has 5 years, and he had the best years of his life. They were wasted, not by him, but just on time.
Yeah.
So guess what? He's in a different stage of his life now. This is gonna be a good fight. A lot of questions on both sides will be answered for this fight. And like I said, for me, it's a fight for the fans. And I hope everybody watches and turns in and buys the fight because you have a very good boxer and a very good puncher. Who can take his style and impose on the other fighter more? And who can make their style work for them?
Sticking on that topic, on time, you said that 5 years of his career are gone. You're right about that. His inactivity. Do you think his inactivity and the caliber of opponent that he has fought as of late can hinder him at this point, and that you guys are actually getting him at the perfect time for him to suffer his first defeat?
I am somewhat saying that. You're right. You hit the right there, Fernando. Because here's the thing. He had 3 fights in 5 years. The Barrera fight was probably the best. Brown was just a fight. That was just a little bit of rust off you, and that was it. It wasn't to showcase anything. It wasn't to prove if he had power, because if that was the case, they didn't do that. Then I don't think Ward was trying to do that. For me, I think he's trying to get 12 good rounds in and get the rust off some more. It's just a good, it's an intriguing fight, and then I want the fans to enjoy this one. I think this is gonna be a hell of a fight. Well, listen, Ward has something left in the tank. I'm not saying the 5 years he's done. I'm saying those are 5 wasted good years. Those are the best years of his life as a fighter, and he can't get them back. But having said that, he's still a hell of a fighter. He's still very intelligent, and he knows how to make fights go his way. So we have to break him down and make the fight go our way. That's all. It's just a chess match, and we want it to be an exciting chess match. That's all.
And finally, let's talk about Kovalev himself. Kovalev has been on, he's fought twice this year. One, we saw the Killer Instinct versus John Pascal, and this last one versus Chilemba. There were so many questions after it because he didn't look his normal self. What Kovalev will we be getting on November 19th on pay-per-view?
Listen, you get the Kovalev, the crusher. You get the one the fans want to see. This fight's bigger for him than any other fight in the Hopkins fight. And that fight to me was bigger for one reason, because you fight a guy who was in his 50s, very crafty, a guy who would fight everybody that he could fight. And, Bernard is just that kind of guy that you have to respect. Ward hasn't reached that status yet. Listen, like I said, he's a good fighter. Everything that he's gotten, he's earned, and he deserves it. But he's not at Bernard's stature. But he's a younger version to a degree of Bernard. So it makes it an intriguing fight. And the fact that listen, Kovalev's last fight, he didn't give it 110%. He didn't train like he should have. And he admitted that he did not train the way he's supposed to. When I got to camp, it was terrible. He was the promoter. He was the matchmaker. He was the ticket seller. He had too many family and friends where he lived at. Too many people tugging at him. And he wearing too many hats. This fight here, I told him, you're going to be one thing. You're going to be the fighter. That's all you're going to be, is the boxer. Don't worry about anything else around you. You got to get ready for this kid here. Because if you don't get ready for Andre, you're going to be in a world of trouble. So that's the mindset. You're going to see the Kovalev of old, and the one that goes to seek and destroy. But not in a stupid way. Very calculated, in our attack.
Well, I see that they might be getting this press conference started very soon. So thank you for your time, John David Jackson. Good luck on November 19th with you and your fighter, Sergey Kovalev. Again, Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev on HBO pay-per-view, November 19th. Tune in, order it on PPV. It's going to be an amazing fight. Fernando Pimentel for Behind the Gloves here with John David Jackson saying we'll see you at the fights.
Hey Fight fans, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, make sure you go ahead and do so because Behind the Gloves is worldwide with our coverage. All you have to do is click this little link right here.